eyes that see so deep, endless hours, no sleep.
Hello, vampires, and welcome back to Mystic Falling, a weekly recap podcast of CW's The Vampire Diaries from two elder millennial women who surprisingly have never watched the show before. I am Beth Elderkin.
And I am Abbey Kindler.
And today we are getting into Sweeps Week because this is Season 1, Episode 10, The Turning Point. A huge episode, if I do say so myself.
This was a lot. A lot happened here. We're running down with the plot. We've got a whole bunch of stuff happening, and I'm mad that I have to wait until next week to watch the next episode. Like, that's where we're at. Like, I was like, if this were just me, I'd have just kept on going.
Yeah, same. Like, I was like, oh, now I have to, actually wait a week to put it on again. So this aired on November 19th, 2009. And what you need to understand at the time, because it's not so much the case anymore, was Sweeps Week, which was when TV was mostly on, the big TV networks. It wasn't, streaming or anything like that. November was when all the good ads would come in because it's getting ready for the holidays. So you wanted to have the big show because you also had the big ads and the big ad spend. So that's why a lot of times in November, they would be putting out some of the year's best episodes for Sweeps Week. And this is definitely one of them, for sure.
And this is also about the time where, all the shows go on hiatus for, a little bit during Thanksgiving time because no one's going to watch your Wednesday night, Thursday night show Thanksgiving week. So there's always usually, there was always a break then, which, again, we don't do now. I think they're literally dropping Stranger Things on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a whole different world. The ads, everyone skips them. Who cares anymore? But now, at the time, big episode, and this would have brought me back. This would have totally won because, ooh, creepy, zombie, putting ourselves back together, screaming, amazing.
Well, Abby, do you want to take us through the synopsis of this episode? What happens in the turning point?
The turning point, we start with the return of Beth's favorite character. Her favorite character in the whole world, Logan Fell, has returned and is clearly a vampire now. And he is at the door with Jenna being like, invite me in. Hey, invite me in. Invite me in. And she says, no, you suck. And he's like, oh, I guess that's fine. We also get Jeremy's return into the art world. I don't know. There's a lot of drawings, and I don't know why, but the sketchbooks made me laugh so much.
Yeah, and him trying to bond with Tyler or whatever his name was over their shared interest in art. And then the dad wants him to beat him up.
I don't understand the dad. I think this was just so we could get the new teacher to be like, look at the threat that he is, because obviously he's very alpha. But it's also like, whose dad is this? Whose dad is trying to give two teenagers a broken pool cue and telling them to fight it out in the parking lot?
Well, I think there was another reason for this. And I don't know if you caught this, but there are two things that happen in this scene that indicate something else is going on.
Tell me more.
One, he's called an alpha, and this is before alpha was a thing.
I know.
And did you see the full moon?
I did. Okay. I didn't know if that was, I can't remember what scene it was in, but I just kept shouting every time he was on screen. I just kept going, werewolf. He's a werewolf. Werewolves. Be a werewolf.
I mean, it really checks out. It absolutely makes sense that he would be a werewolf. They've put those pieces in place for him to be a werewolf. He's very aggressive. He has a lack of impulse control, and he's very domineering.
So we have that whole thing. Stefan's going to leave, Beth, this time for realsies. He's definitely leaving.
Sure.
I believe him. He's so super leaving. That's why we see him definitely ready to go and leave. He wants to protect Elena, but then he's also going to go to the career fair, just to whatever. But he appears, and Logan Fell also goes to the career fair. The career fair is where it's at because Jenna then goes to the career fair.
She
They're
literally
all
calls it
there.
like the new singles night or something. Like it's the new cocktail party is career night, which I thought was kind of funny because it's her accepting her role as a parental figure for the teens.
It also speaks to small town vibes of being
Mm.
like, what's going on? The high school's having career night. This is a staple of the community. Like, we're all actually volunteering. All adults are involved. That's why there's an entire, I don't know how big of an art industry is going on in Mystic Falls, but one of the booths is just sketches. So anyway, the whole thing is that our good friend, Logan Fell, Beth's favorite character in the entire world, is a brand new vampire and kills somebody on the street when he can't get into Jenna's home.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when the sheriff, she calls Damon and she's like, hey, like there's another killing happened. And he's like, that's weird. I didn't do it. So who could have done it? Tracks down Logan Fell. And Logan shoots him with a gun so many times.
And apparently they're all wooden bullets.
Which tracks because he was on he was in the vampire hunting gang, but he's just wildly shooting at him with just the craziest magazine full of wooden bullets. Side note, Caroline also just appeared and helped let him in, and then he sent her away again.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, hey, who made you? He's like, not going to tell you because I don't know, but I'm not going to tell you anyway. I've also been killing people and piling them up in the back of this warehouse. And the look on Damon's face, by the way, is probably, it can't be my whole standout moment, but the look he gives when he looks over, sees the piles of bodies, and looks back at Logan is the most disappointed dad look.
Yeah.
And I feel like a person portraying a 17-year-old could possibly give. It was amazing. I cackled. It's just such a great look. It's like, really, dude? A pile of them?
So this was one of my standout moments, but since we're already talking about it, I'll go ahead and use my backup,
Okay.
which was the car accident, the whole, Caroline
Ooh.
thing.
Yeah.
The thing I want to say is the actor who plays Logan is fine. I did not find him engaging as a vampire. I didn't find him interesting. I didn't like the portrayal. I didn't like the performance.
Interesting.
Again, I don't think it was his fault necessarily. I think he's just not an actor who has that kind of range. You compare him to Vicky, newly turned vampire, and how she portrayed it. That was a good portrayal. This one, I get he's older, he's going to have different experiences, but I don't know. I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, he didn't give the menacing. He gave a very interesting portrayal of a scared but trying to harness his power kind of thing. But again, I didn't. And again, it's probably not the actor's fault. I just don't care for his character in general, pre or current vampire. But I did love the conversation of just being like, hey, my ex-girlfriend, I just want to be near her all the time and outside of her house, and I want to bite her a bunch. Is that normal? And Damon's like, I guess you love her. So being a vampire, now you're obsessed with her. So maybe just don't. Anyway, he gives all these weird clues that he knows a bunch of stuff, that he knows how to get rid of the curse, and he knows who created him, and blah, 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 blah. All of this is for naught because he does not make it to the end of the episode. Spoiler alert.
No, he does not.
And Damon is furious.
Yeah, because this was... Damon is now kind of freaking out because this is an unknown variable. Somebody not only is coming to town, someone doesn't come into town just as a vampire to eat people. Someone's coming to a vampire to turn people, and it's outside of Damon's control. That's going to be very scary to him, and for good reason.
And not only are they creating vampires, they're creating rogue vampires that are not being trained. So they are releasing rabid animals into the ecosystem. So not only are they going to expose them, they're going to create just absolute havoc. Because Logan just woke up and went, hey, I'm a vampire. And he's just been killing willy-nilly. So it's a danger to both Stefan and Damon in a way that I don't think Damon has felt in maybe ever? ?
I'm sure he's felt it at some point in the past. I'm sure there have been situations where he's been out of his depth, but it's probably been a long time.
Yes.
I also, big plot thing, as you had alluded to, there is now another way to get Catherine out of the tomb and get her free and walking around again. So, I mean, obviously that was going to happen.
Obviously.
But, like, apparently whoever turned Logan just, like, woke him up and was like, hey, by the way, you're a vampire now. Here's the secrets to the tomb. Now go be merry. And that was it. I guess. Okay.
Go be an agent of chaos for me. Here's just enough information that if you get tortured, this will come out of you and Damon will go insane. Ooh. I love that's such a good enemy move of being like, look, I'm not going to tell you everything you need to know, just enough to breadcrumb somebody into like obsession, craziness. This whole time that this is going on, poor Caroline has a bad episode. Like, I feel so bad for this poor girl.
Yeah.
She gets summoned to Damon. He then sends her away, but she's just like, okay, bye. Leaves. She's hanging out with Elena's ex, and like they're kind of doing a thing, and everyone's like, you guys banging? And they're like, no, we have a connection, but they're all teenagers, and they just make a bunch of assumptions. And then she tells her mother, this is the saddest part of the episode for me for some reason, but she goes, Mom, I've decided I want to be in broadcast journalism. It is my calling. And her mother, in all the supportiveness in the world, goes, what? You don't even read anything about anyone. Really? Like, is so mean to her about this, being like, yeah, you know what? That would be great. Broadcast journalism, whatever.
I mean, at
everyone's
the time,
so mean to her for no reason.
Yeah, at the time, that was a smart career move. Nowadays, not so much.
No,
she'd not
be like,
recommend.
Hey. No, her whole thing would have been like, oh, I want to be like Philip DeFranco. I'm going to report the news on YouTube. And it'd be like, well, you don't even read the news. What are you talking about? Like something like to that effect. But broadcast journalism, she wants to be in the news. Good for her. I don't think Logan Fell was wandering around being a scholar at journalism. I think he just was given a microphone and told what to talk about. He wasn't exactly Walter Cronkite. Anyway, she then also gets abducted by Logan by saying that, he's like, oh, I'll drive you home, no big deal, and then starts calling and threatening the sheriff. The sheriff is upset about it, calls Damon to do something, I guess, and then the new teacher stakes Logan, and that's how Logan dies.
Yes, because it turns out Alaric is not a vampire, or maybe he is, but he is a vampire hunter in particular, which I swear I think I've got this right, because Jeremy's whole thing is he's reading a journal about monsters and vampires, and that's what brought his love of drawing back. He's reading about these monsters and stuff. Once he finds out they're real and present in the town right now, he's already bonding with this new teacher. Like, what's going to happen? Obviously, he's going to take him under his wing, and Jeremy is going to become Alaric's, I guess, apprentice. That's my prediction.
I like that. I'm also kind of wondering, I don't know. I was also somewhat getting the vibe that Alaric was possibly also a werewolf. I'm probably wrong 1000%, but something about his whole vibe. I know nothing about this character. I'm trying so hard to avoid spoilers on so many things. But I also was kind of getting that vibe from him a little bit because he's a little bit more disheveled than any of the other vampires we've seen. He seems to have the strength and the everything. He does have the ring, which I don't know if is a red herring or not. But he also stands down that kid's dad in a way that I think that the kid and the dad both were just like didn't understand. So I think maybe, I don't know. And something about his name. His name, to me, as someone who's read way too much werewolf fan fiction, it has a very old world werewolf name to me for some reason. I could be completely wrong and just projecting what I would like to happen with this guy from Legally Blonde, but it's whatever.
Yeah, but he's really, the actor's really kind of ingratiating himself into the cast very well and very quickly.
Yes.
It feels like he's been there for much longer than just 2 episodes.
I really enjoy this. I thought I didn't know how long he would I didn't know if he would grow on me the last time. And this episode I was like, oh, okay, I want to know way more about this guy. Let's talk about the important part here, Beth, and it's that Elena declares her undying love for our main man, Stefan, here, and they throw down.
They do throw down biscuits.
They do, and it goes on for so long. I feel like it went on for a little bit too long for it not being not graphic, but for being, what word do I want here? But you know what I mean? Like, it was all very like soft. Explicit, that's a better word. And it's just
Because
a lot of pictures of barebacks.
It was only making out. Like, it wasn't even, there was really no indication that they were actually having sex, but clearly they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very much just a lot of making out and a lot of like faces going,
and just
looking.
Just a lot of very like passionate, slow kissing,
Mm-hmm.
while in the background the lyrics are being the least subtle ever. It's like just repeating. There's candles everywhere. And they're spooning in bed afterwards. And she's like, oh my God, I love your room. It's so fun. Like, do you change it? And he's like, no. And she's like, oh my God, it's so fun. Hey, will you give me like a drink of water? And he's like, absolutely. See you later. And she gets up and starts wandering around his room, like kicking her little feet. Everything about this is just like clapping her hands and kicking her feet. Like, I did it. I'm in his room. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to smell the candle. And I'm going to look at this picture. And oh, Christ, that's me.
This was very cool. And
Yes.
I liked the way that this happened because it really made it felt natural. Like, yeah, they're gonna, if they're in love, they're gonna have sex, and she's a girly girl, so she's gonna get all excited about being in his room, and yay, I did it, we did it, yay! And then, oh crap, just the ball drops, a bomb drops.
Oh, and she sees the picture, and it cuts away from her, and we get. Listen, I know the actor is jacked. I know it. I don't believe that he's not jacked. There's no way they didn't contour his abs. Because the first time you see it, it almost looks fake. I don't know if it's the way the lighting is working or whatever, but I was like, wait a minute. No. He's got it going on. Like, it's fine. It just seems like we contoured a little bit to really kind of sell it. Which I don't think they needed to do.
Got those teen girls watching the show. Got to give them the goods.
See, and here's the problem as a woman pushing 40. I know that having a six-pack ab like that takes a lot more. Like, it's just being so dehydrated, and it's miserable. So I'm just like, that doesn't look fun to me. Like, just like, if that's how he's walking around all the time, I feel very bad for him. His vegetarian diet is not working out. He needs to put on some meat. I just want to feed the boy. Like,
Come on inside, I'll make you a lasagna.
Yeah, do you want some soup? You need food. Come in,
It'll
come in.
have a mozzarella, as you like to put it.
Seconds, thirds? Yes, here, drink some milk. But he comes in, and Elena has removed her necklace. And she put it
and
on
herself
top
from the room.
and herself. She removed the necklace. She put it on top of the picture of Catherine to just be like, hey, by the way, saw it, disgusted, leaving. You freak. Poor Elena. She's like, I love you. And she gave away her secret garden and her precious flower, only to find out that he is crazy. Like, vampire, she could get through. Weird stalker guy, not the vibe, apparently, for Elena. She's like, nope, don't like this.
I didn't think she was a virgin. I thought she and Matt had
probably
had
not.
sex.
Probably not. But.
And also, it really does not matter, when you do it for the first time, when you do it for the 100th time, like, it is what it is. You don't need to treat your virginity as some special thing, especially as a girl or a woman. Like, ugh.
To be clear, I was using her precious flower secret garden part in jest.
Okay.
No, I'm not being like, Elena, you've thrown it away to a man.
Haven't you heard about the chewing gum?
What?
Oh, you don't. Oh, I'm guessing you didn't grow up with the whole born again abstinence education thing that I had for a while.
No, I will tell you, mine was just don't.
Youth church tended to be a little bit more, they love to be more descriptive. One of the descriptions was, if you have a piece of gum and then you chew the piece of gum, then it's been chewed. If you give it to somebody else, it's already been chewed. So, like, it's already worthless, basically. And that's what they call, like, sex. So, like, you save it and you save the gum.
I'm sorry. I'm used gum.
Yep, we are used gum. Yes.
Having sex with someone who's already had sex is like having sex with used gum. I see. Born again Christianity, a little bit strange. Yeah, no, mine was just I grew up in the country with a bunch of like I was raised kind of Catholic, but also grew up around a lot of Mennonites. There were no like cute little phrases. Like I've heard them later, like the lock. I've heard the lock analogy. I've never heard the gum one. That is gonna haunt me. But it was always just don't. You will get pregnant. It was the thing from Mean Girls. You will get pregnant and die. If you get pregnant, being pregnant is the worst thing that could possibly happen to a teenager ever in the history of the universe. Like, that's the way that it was always sold. It also was the thing that made me think that getting pregnant was the easiest thing in the world. So, anyway, yes, she has sex with Stefan, leaves her necklace, so she is now unprotected.
What?
Sorry.
Why do you think? Why? I mean, I know she did it to make a point, but I mean, he told her it was to protect her from being influenced. So why would she leave it?
I have a feeling it was just for the drama, but also, I don't know. I think if I had to guess, if you just threw down with a guy and you're like, this is it, it's meant, and then you find out that he's got this picture of a person that looks exactly like you from however long ago, and you start putting together some vampire history and realizing that Catherine, the one that we're talking about, looks exactly like you. And why did this guy show up in your life? I would be so skeeved out, my skin would fall off. Like, I'd be like, oh no, heavens, no. So it was probably, I don't want anything that he's touched to be anywhere near me. Like, it was probably just like a visceral reaction, if I had to guess.
Remind me, it's not the same necklace that we see Catherine wearing in the photo, right? Because that's her daywalker.
Correct.
Thing.
This is her necklace is the one that has the
vervain.
The vervain in it. So it's just this was a gift from Stefan. Ew, no. Because what could it mean? Because no more lies. Here's a lie. I'm staring at a lie. This is probably a lie as well. And maybe he's slowly turning me into this person and I don't like it because I don't understand magic. Because, yeah, we're learning a lot of information very quickly. So she's just trying to put some pieces together in her brain, and rightfully so, very skeeved out by this information. Because, again, we see earlier in the episode, Bonnie not handling a lot of this real super well. She's unsteady on her feet right now.
Yeah, she's having some difficulties processing the existence of vampires. And she's probably going to want to bow out for a little while, which is fine. You girl, you do what you got to do. But then Elena speeds off in the night. And maybe this should have been called history repeating, because history repeats. And there's a car accident.
She has a car accident. She hits something. Her car flips over. She's like upside down. She's hurt. Like, that's Also, how did her airbags not deploy? She needs to take that thing back to the dealer. And she looks at her window and sees the thing that she hit all crumpled on the ground. And then it starts getting up and reanimating itself with some of the most horrific noises I've ever heard. Love it. It's so randomly macabre, and I love it.
It was it was terrifying. Do you think this is a vampire?
I don't know. I want to say yes, probably. A very strong vampire. This is whoever probably turned Logan, if I had to guess. And now she's unprotected with no vervain. But also, kudos to the horror movie scream that she lets out at the end with the perfect cut. The last 10 seconds of this episode are stunning. I love this.
It was good, and it was a great redemption for Nina Dobrev, because her previous scream with Vicky was not it. But this one definitely, this felt very I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
Like, it so had those vibes to me. Dark Knight Road. Mysterious guy, mysterious person, standing in the middle of the street and then coming toward you as you can't escape. It just looked, I know it was 2009, it just looked 1997. It
I
just
loved
did.
it. It just
did.
needed to be raining or something. Like that would have been the fine, like a lightning storm or something, but we can't have a lightning storm or rain because it's a full moon, which we needed to know about as well. So yeah, that's where the episode ends. The episode ends with just screaming. Just screaming. Yeah.
Yep. And my standout moment was that whole big cliffhanger, just because so much happens in so little time. But I also want to give a shout out to Jeremy, because I think him becoming a vampire hunter and him not knowing that his sister knows a vampire, like, I find that very interesting. I find that like a good use of Jeremy as a character, if that's the direction that they go in.
It is. I do appreciate it a lot because you have two characters going on their own separate journeys that are destined to collide in a very like a good storytelling way. So yes, I also very much appreciate this. The drawing side quest is interesting. But yes, my standout moment was the weird parking lot fight with like the dad like goading them on. Like everything about that was hysterical to me. Like hysterical in like a funny way. Or not, I'm sorry, hysterical in like a compelling way where it's just like two teenagers would be like, I'm not gonna punch this guy, what are you talking about? And just like drunk football dad just being like, no, you have to do this is what you have to do, you're gonna let him talk to you like this? And just two clear-headed teenagers going, no, I don't want to do this. How do I not
and
do
then Alaric
this?
comes in and the dad pulls the "Do you know who I am? I can ruin your life. I can ruin your career," like that.
Yeah.
Pulls that whole thing. And it was in that moment where I was like, wait, who is he again?
Yeah. I don't know
I
this
don't know who
character's
you are.
name. I don't know who you are. But
Is
I
he the
also
mayor?
really genuinely don't remember. But Alaric to me also had just like a quiet power to him that I really appreciated. Like he didn't get menacing. He just was confident in a way of just being like, I don't actually care who you are, and I don't care about losing my job. I don't want you to make these two teenagers punch themselves and punch each other, because that's an insane thing to do. Go away. Go get a hobby. And it dressed him down in a way that his son stopped respecting him, which is such a move. Because his son was just like, Dad, I don't want to fight this guy. Turn to, I'm going to go inside. I actually don't care anymore. I loved this.
One question I had was about Caroline, because I feel like her character has stagnated a bit. Like it feels like they don't know what to do with her right now. So what are you hoping happens with Caroline? What would you like to see?
For me, I just kind of want to see her not be connected to somebody. For Caroline's character to kind of strike out and like make her own little path. I don't know what, like very Alexis Rose. I just rewatched Schitt's Creek, by the way. Very Alexis Rose, where it's like, yeah, she can have like a love story, but that's not the important part of her development, because everything that she's doing right now is being connected to another person. She wants her mother's affection. She wants a boy's affection. She wants Damon's affection. That's all that's driving her as a character.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to see her dropped out of that and needing to survive without that. A cat! Yeah,
Sorry.
bye, cat.
It was a
But
rainbow.
that's what I would like to see. I don't know what that would be. I will assume that she's going to move into some sort of possibly maybe a different, if I had to go like True Blood style, where we introduce an entirely different species. Like, yeah, werewolves and vampires, that'll be fine. But what about the werepanthers and the fairies and the minotaurs? Like, she finds her own path. That's what I want for Caroline, because right now she's just sort of there. You're right.
What would be a fun or funny, like, mythical addition to Vampire Diaries that would just blow your mind?
Oh, man. I don't even know. Now I got to think about it. I would love it for being like just, like I said minotaurs, but like centaurs. For it just be like, oh, they just all live in the woods, but for some reason, no one's ever noticed, ever.
I want a leprechaun. I want a leprechaun to show up.
Just a little leprechaun.
But I want it to be like a leprechaun is like a child that never
Yeah.
ages, like that never ages or something. You know, like forever child is a leprechaun. I just think that's really funny.
Just like one little leprechaun. As on a rainy day, there's a rainbow. Like we have a random St. Patrick's Day episode.
Yeah.
We never talk about him ever again.
Well, Abby, let's go ahead and take a visit to Abby's Fashion Corner. Abby, what fashions inspired you this week?
My fashions inspired were definitely hilariously one of the things that stood out to me was Elena wearing Stefan's shirt post-coital because she's in bed in it, which means she got out of bed, got this shirt, put it all the way on, buttoned it, by the way, top like collar to tail. Like she does the whole button, and then that's what they're snuggling in. And she looks great because obviously she's wandering around. Like, that's the look, right? That's the look that we all wanted. We all wanted to wear our boyfriend's button-up shirt, look how cute we look in our little undies and doing the whole thing. But to me, the way it was put on her was put on off screen, but then they were cuddling in the shirt. Like, that's not how that goes.
No.
But again, she looked fantastic, wandering around, doing her little happy, I'm in a boy room, looking at all the fun stuff in his room. That was the fashion moment that stood out to me. I don't know what that says about me, but that's what it was.
I also clocked her very pink tank top that had like a ruffle on it or something, and I did not care for that. It was very early 2000s. Jeremy's hair is going backwards. It was doing so good for a little while, and now it's just getting bad again. They need to fix this. Fix Jeremy's hair.
Yeah, we're moving back to the helmet. That, like, Jim, the early seasons of The Office with Jim's hair is why I could never take that show seriously. I couldn't deal with the helmet flippy-do thing on Krasinski. Like, it looked so silly. I couldn't deal with that look.
I know I've been asking a lot of questions this week, but it's just we haven't recorded in a little while. It's actually been a couple of weeks since we recorded. It's been a bit. So my last question I'm going to ask you before we wrap up today is,
all ears.
Out of all the humans or supposed humans, who do you want to see turned into a vampire?
Ooh. Who do I want to see turn out? Jenna.
Jenna vampire. That would be so
Vampire
fun.
Jenna. I am obsessed with the kind of vampire that Jenna would be because I feel like she'd be like a real chill vampire. For no reason. Like, she just wants to keep doing what she's doing, but also she does need to, like, drink a lot of blood. And it actually just really puts her out. It's just such a burden. And she talks about it all the time. She just wants to go outside. And she misses the sunshine, Beth. She just, how will she do this? Which, by the way, was a point of the episode of Logan just desperately wanting to be able to go in the sun. And David's like, no, we're the only ones that can do it, and I'm not telling you how. So we are continuing to be, like, dripped and dropped information about where they got this from, which I like. I love that we're keeping a mystery alive. But yes, Jenna the vampire would be amazing.
Yes. We'll find out if that happens. Maybe
you?
even next week. Maybe for me, I'd love to see Caroline as a vampire.
Yeah.
I think she'd be cool. And
I
have a feeling
great.
I think I mean that feels kind of like a natural trajectory for her character. But we'll see.
I feel like she also has she's got the trajectory to be able to go into the Vampire Hunter Part 2, like being so burned by Stefan and Damon that she goes the opposite way. Like, she doesn't want to be part of that world. She wants to end it. That's how scorned she is. And she grabs all of her power and becomes a vampire hunter. She'd look great in a pair of, like, leather pants. And I just assume that's what you wear when you fight vampires.
I mean, lessons from Buffy, inspired us all.
Exactly.
Well, everybody, that was season 1, episode 10, The Turning Point. And what a turning point it was. The turn of the wheel of the car, flipping the car over. And we are on a cliffhanger in Sweeps Week.
Let's go.
Thank you so much for joining us for this latest episode of Mystic Falling. You can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel to see our wonderful faces. Ta-da! Ding! We're also on Instagram as well, and we have a Facebook page. We will be back next week with season 1, episode 11. What is it called? I forgot. Bloodlines. Ooh, I think we're going to be learning about some new vampires. And we'll see what happens. Maybe Elena turns into a vampire.
They're all going to be vampires. If this goes on long enough, it's just going to turn into one big town of vampires. Like, let's just be real.
Yeah, something tells me that they're going to have like an easy fix for vampirism so that they can turn people into vampires whenever and then just undo it later.
And then there's going to be like a big compelling like season arc where Stefan's battling with whether or not he wants to be a person again and not a vampire, and then ultimately decides not to for some reason.
Well, wouldn't he just die? I mean, he's old, so wouldn't he like turn into dust because he's that old?
Maybe
He's a crumbled man.
Maybe you just become the age you are, and then you get to age. Oh God, that's the series finale, isn't it? That's he gets his vampirism taken away, and he and Elena walk off into the sunset and get to be old together, like in the end of The Notebook, and then they die together in each other's arms. I think was the point I was trying to make there. I don't know. Did I just call it? Oh no! No one tell me. No one tell me.
So we'll see you then. In the meantime, keep that ring on, drink your vervain, and Abbey, don't get into any car accidents. Just general advice.
General advice, don't run anybody down in the streets.
That too.